Yo, what up? It's Aaron Moses. Gang, in this video, it's supposed to be called Not That. I'm trying to do the reaction to Gangsta Boogie Stories. The Ice Cream Man. I thought I was gonna do Tuerta. But the Ice Cream Man, let's get it. It's the Ice Cream Man. But if you don't know who Gangsta Boogie is, man, do your homework on Gangsta Boogie, man. This is an old school Chicago. I don't know what gang he's from. He has a lot of tattoos on his face, but he's an authentic Chicago representative. Very good at telling stories, man. Shout out to your boy Gangsta Boogie, man. Let's get this cash. Let me leave
Making
a like.
this video right.
Make sure you like this video. I'm gonna leave a like real quick. Let's get this cash.
Cause y'all want some real shit.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all want another story.
I do.
Story. I'm gonna keep making more videos about real shit that's happened in my life. People I've met and shit like that, you know what I'm saying? I'm also gonna expose myself. Who better to expose myself than
Man,
people?
make sure you go to Gangsta Boogie's Instagram and blow him up, man. This man's a legend, bro. Still alive, still doing his thing, been through the drama. He obviously has to have a big head, a big face. Look at all these beautiful tattoos on his face. He has a big ass cross. Big. 100. Shout out to all the people with big heads. Let's get this guy.
That don't know shit about me, you try to expose me. I'm gonna expose myself, because who better to do that than myself?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm gonna talk about being backstabbed, being ran on, tricked on, set up, cheated on, the whole 9 yards.
Right.
But this story right here, it's about when I met the paletero, the ice cream man. You know, I remember I met this ice cream man. He would always be at the park or going down 31st selling this, his paletas, his ice cream and shit. He was straight from Mexico, this nigga, you know? And he was a cool motherfucker and shit. You know? He always wanted to hang around with the guys in K-Town.
West Side. K-Town's on the west side. And when he says the guys, he means gang bangers, gang banging, gang banging.
And he hung around these niggas so much that they gave him a nickname. They would drink with him, you know, smoke weed with him.
That's how you know, bro. When niggas start giving you nicknames and start drinking and smoking with you, that means you gotta go. They trying to initiate you, bro. They're slowly trying to initiate you into their foolishness and their folly. Get out of there.
He was a paisa.
Look.
You can tell he barely had any friends, just family and shit. He was working, selling his fucking ice cream and his paletas and shit. Like any hard working Mexican would do, you know what I'm saying? And one day this nigga eventually turned out in K-Town and gave him a nickname.
No, when he said he eventually turned out, which sounds very, I want to use that terminology, but that means that he came home, as we say in Chicago. That means he got down, he got initiated into, he became an official gang member and gang banger. Oh my God.
And like real shit.
These niggas put on the ice cream and the paleta, man. That's cold hearted. It's not even funny. It's just, that's dumb.
I don't know why he did it.
You just said it. Because he didn't have any friends. He only had his family. Because his social circle consisted of people that he didn't align with. He felt like he couldn't be his authentic self because all he was doing was being the ice cream man, taking care of his family, being a man to his woman, being a father to his child, being a workhorse. And he didn't have a social circle that he could relate to at all. Now, I don't want to be too long-winded about this topic, but if you go to Willie D's channel, the interview that he did with Ali Sadiq. Now he clipped it, so just look for it. When he talked about men's mental health, Ali Sadiq told the people that a lot of men don't actually have mental health issues. They just need friends that they could be authentic with. When you can't express yourself, when you feel like you can't be your authentic self, you're prone to do some dumb shit and feel like you have mental health issues, anxiety, depression. You know what I'm saying? Thinking about your past, making making rash decisions because you don't have any counsel. Now in the Bible it says, in a multitude of counsel there's safety. If you don't have a multitude of counsel, if you don't have people you could bounce your ideas off of, you know what I'm saying, then you're gonna do dumb shit because you don't have anybody to check you or to give you a perspective that is actually healthy. You have no way to weigh your options. Let's get this cash.
But he did. You know, all boosts aside, this nigga, you know, he's a paisa. They turn out a paisa. Everybody turns out paisas.
Do they?
You know?
Mm-hmm. I guess. Not me.
And when he turned out, like, yeah, he wanted to make a name for himself. He wanted to, you know, he wanted to be somebody to these niggas, man.
To these niggas.
You know, I wasn't from his block, so it was, I mean, it wasn't really none of my business, but still, you know. He eventually cut his hair off. He had a little paisa hairstyle. You know how they get it. You know what I'm saying? He cut his hair off bald. Left a shag.
A shag.
Started getting tattoos and shit.
Slow. Lost and turned out.
I remember I left for a whole week. I went out of town and shit.
This nigga said a whole week. So he must have been a young nigga, because you know for young niggas, a week is a long time. A week for me, blink of an eye. So a week for him, that probably felt like a month. So he was, I'm going to probably say he was probably 16. If you said a whole week.
I come back. Like I said, you know, the nigga I wasn't from his block or nothing, so it was none of my business. One day I see one of the guys and shit.
Mm-hmm.
Probably like a couple days after I came back.
Right.
You heard what happened to this nigga? I was like, nah, what happened to him? You know what I'm saying? And they tell me and shit. It
Look at that. He thinks it's funny. You see his face. That's called micro expressions. Look at his face. Look at his eyes and how he has a slight grin. You kind of think it's kind of funny. Because it's dumb. Because this is dumb.
You heard what happened to this nigga?
Look.
I was like, nah. What happened to him? You know what I'm saying?
Right there.
Right
there. That's a slight grin.
And shit.
Right there. Look. I'm not trying to hold it against him, bro. Because I may explain it later. But let's get it.
His ass got kicked out of his crib because he joined the gang.
He got kicked out of his own crib. He didn't say he got kicked out of his baby mama's house. He got kicked out of the house. He said he got kicked out of his crib.
And his family didn't like that.
His family didn't like that.
He lost his job. Selling paletas. You know? So I'm like, what happened to him? You know, like, anybody look out for him? This nigga said, nah, G. Like, what you mean nobody looked out for him? Where was he staying at? He was sleeping in the motherfucking park at night. And I ain't nobody gave him a place to stay. So nigga said, nah. Oh, that's fucked up. I'm like, so what happened, man? They caught him slipping. They smoked him. He's like, nah, Jink. I was like, he got locked up. What the fuck he get locked up for?
Oh, he smoked somebody. See, look. The nigga's not my homie, but I will have to say RIP to him. I knew somebody, I'm not gonna say his name, I already made multiple videos about bro. But he was telling me that a lot of which I don't know if they do this in LA, because LA doesn't get cold enough to get to this extent of predatorialism, which I don't know if that's a word or not, so don't use that unless you look it up. But a lot of organizations, a lot of gangs will use people that are homeless, that don't want to sleep in the cold. They'll be like, hey, look, I know you don't want to sleep in this cold. It's about to be 5 degrees tonight. So if you go smoke that, man, then we'll let you sleep in the crib for a whole month. You'll get a bed. You'll get, you know what I'm saying? We'll help you out. But you gotta go do this to this father, to this person's brother, to this person's grandfather. You gotta do something. You gotta do the worst thing that you could do to somebody else. But if you do it, you won't have to be in the cold. We'll give you cereal. We'll give, you know what I'm saying? You might not have milk, but well, at least you get the cereal, you know what I'm saying? And a bed. Somewhere to stay. You might not get a bed. It might be an air mattress. But a lot of people in Chicago, I don't know about New York. I've never been to, well, I've been to New York a couple times, but I know they do that in Chicago. So I'm guessing they told their man to go put in some work so he'll have somewhere to lay his head instead of sleeping in the park. Because he's not specifying whether this is summer, winter, fall, spring, perhaps. So I'm thinking that they told bro to go do something negative to somebody, you know, so he'll have somewhere to sleep for the season. Because at least they don't just do it for a couple days. They do it. But yeah.
He was sleeping at the park.
Watch.
They locked him up for sleeping at the park. Niggas like, nah, he had a gun on him for protection. And the police went into the park and caught him sleeping on the bench. And they searched him and he had a gun on him and they locked him.
They caught him sleeping.
The monk.
Now, if he would have had that cuete away from him, at least, what is it, 6 or 7 feet? That's not wise either. So it's damned if you do, damned if you don't. If he would have kept it near a bush, because there's always a bush near a bench in a park. Always. Or a tree. If he would have kept it somewhere close, but not that close, not on your body. But I already know what niggas say. I'd rather be caught with it than without it. Nigga, I'd rather not need to have a gun.
And I was like, what the fuck? And he's like, yeah, they deported him back to Mexico.
Damn.
And I was like, damn, bro, that's fucked up. He goes, yeah, that's fucked up, right? They deported him. Like, nah, nigga, that's fucked up.
Y'all done take care of
Y'all niggas fucked that man's life up and didn't even help him.
He was chilling, bro, selling his palette.
That's the story I gotta tell y'all about the ice cream man in the hood.
Let's see what he gotta say after that.
These streets don't love nobody. Think about what the fuck you gonna do before you hit that door and run off in these streets. Because all bullshit aside, you can either end up dead or in jail or deported. So wherever.
Nigga, I'm not getting deported. And I'm not going to jail. And I'm never gonna die. All three.
Fuck you came from. Process this shit in your motherfucking mind. If you want to. But that's a story about the paletero.
Alright. And look, family, this all happened because this man didn't have no friends. I know you might think it sounds gangster or cool or very manly or very masculine or very testosterone based to say that you don't have friends. Now, I thought that at some point. But to say that you don't have friends and that you're doing it on your own and you're a lone wolf and you're gonna get it out the mud and no new friends, that's very dumb. I'm not gonna use the word toxic. I was gonna use that word, but that sounds very hoish. It's dumb, it's ignorant, and it's unwise to try to move through this world to say you don't have friends. Now, I thought the word friend sounded very, it just sounded very girly to say, oh yeah, like to be honest, I went to an interview with my friend, one of my best friend, a very good friend, a very loyal, understanding, outstanding person, somebody that I'm honored to know, named Flyboy Chip. Go to Flyboy Chip's channel. We have multiple songs. We have a whole mixtape together. But we went to an interview on the east side of Atlanta together. And when he told we were supposed to get interviewed separately. We were supposed to get interviewed. And the dudes that worked there were all on lunch. And he said, that's my best friend. This is before that's my best friend. This is like in 2000 and I want to say 11, something like that. When he said, this is my best friend, my name's Craig, this is my best friend Aaron, it felt kind of weird. But I knew the man since I was 10 years old, bro. And I was 21 at the time. You know what I'm saying? It still felt weird. You have to stop, bro, have friends. Because that's going to affect your your mental health. And Flyboy Chip just texted me something very wise. I'm not going to read it verbatim. But he said, through all the bullshit that these females are going to do to you, through all the people that's going to, expire, through all of the foolishness that's going to go through life, through all the presidents that's going to get elected, nigga, we're still going to have the bros. There's still going to be the broverse. We're still going to be solid. You know what I'm saying? There's something higher. Because I'm not going to fall out with this nigga. Like, get you some friends, bro. Because a lot of times, it's not your diet. It might be your diet. It probably is your diet because most people in America don't eat very well. Just like my baby mama said, give them some juice. A little juice never killed nobody. Yes, a little apple juice. Yes, a little Kool-Aid. Yes, a little coffee. Yes, a little grape juice has killed billions of people. Come on, my alarm. I was trying to, let me talk to the people. That's because I'm responsible. That's why I got alarms. Yes, a little juice, a little apple juice has killed a lot of people. A little apple juice, a little grape juice, a little Kool-Aid has killed billions of people. That's the leading cause of death in America. Heart disease. But a little friendliness, a little friendship, a little camaraderie has never, well, I can't say never. But you got to choose your friends wisely. You're the average of the 5 people that you that you give your energy to, because that energy is going to be reciprocated. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is. It's not what it's not. Just here to, teach, spread some wisdom, and try to save these lives, whether they be black or not. It's Aaron Moses on the band. You the band. We the band together, man. Life is in the breath. Please breathe in good breath. Peace.